Hi, this is Robert here for Seconds Out, joined by Otto Wallin in Pug Gym, London. So Otto, how are we doing?
Good, thank you. It's nice to be here in England and get some good work, so it's good.
So can you tell me, what are you actually doing at the Pug Gym, London?
Well, I've been here for a couple of weeks sparring with Chisora ahead of his fight with Fury. I think that I'm a good style for Fury, and of course I fought him already, so I think that I have some experience that I can share with Dereck and help him get ready.
So, have to jump straight into that. So how is Dereck looking?
Dereck is looking good. I think he has a good idea of what he needs to do. He already fought Fury twice, so he knows what he has to do, and I think they're working on that. Seem to have a good game plan, and yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
So, moving on to that, before we talk about yourself specifically, how do you see that fight going? What are your thoughts on Fury Chisora?
Well, you know, Fury, he's the best heavyweight in the world right now, and he's a very tough task for anybody. But like I said, Chisora, he knows what he needs to do. He's working on that. He's in good shape. Of course, it's a very big task for anybody to beat Fury. Uh, but I'm rooting for Dereck, and I think that he can put on a good performance.
Thanks. So, we've talked about Fury Chisora. Another fight before we go on to you, which I'd like your views on, is Dillian Whyte versus Jermaine Franklin. What do you think of that fight, and how do you see it?
Well, we see. I mean, Franklin hasn't been the most active. He had a couple good wins in England. No, in the US, sorry. We both fighting for Salida Promotion, so I know him. I actually had him over for sparring when I was going to fight Dillian Whyte. And, I probably, could be a decent fight. We see how Dillian Whyte comes back after that tough knockout loss against Fury. And then Franklin, I mean, I don't know when he really fought last, but we see. I hope he comes in good shape, and if he does, I think it could be a good fight.
When you say good fight, competitive, or you could actually see Franklin winning the fight?
Well, I think Franklin has talent. It's just, I think it's just a matter of what kind of shape he's in. If he comes in good shape, I think that he could possibly pull the upset.
Okay, great. So we've talked about others now. So on to you. It's been mentioned by Eddie Hearn that you're a possible spring opponent for Anthony Joshua. Has AJ's team reached out to you? How likely is that fight?
Well, they haven't reached out to me personally, but I know there's been talks between Eddie and Dimitri, my promoter. So there's some talks there. I don't know if there's any updates on it. I'm hoping there will be. I would really like that fight. I think it's a good fight for me, and Joshua, I still consider him one of the best in the division, and he's a really big name. So by fighting him and beating him, I think that it could really propel my name and take me to new heights. And I think I deserve these fights. I fought Fury, gave him a really good fight, and then had a win over Travis Kaufman, Dominic Brazil. Then I had to take a couple stay busy fights, so it's been a little frustrating at times, but I think these big fights are going to come, and I know that I'm ready for them. So I'm just hoping that I get the fights that I deserve.
Before I came to see you, I tried to look at some old footage of fights of you, and I came across an amateur fight that you had with Joshua. I think it was at the Haringey Box Cup many years ago. You lost that fight. How would you compare the Joshua from then to the Joshua of today, and of course, more importantly, you from then to you today, and how would you see that being different?
Well, it was both. I mean, it was very early on for both of us. So, I mean, it's kind of hard to compare, but, Joshua, he was more of a big, strong guy. That's what he had, really. And, not the most technical at that time. Me, kid coming from Sweden, small town, and traveling over here. It was good. We had a good fight there, but I mean, you can't really compare any of it to today, I think. Um, Joshua sparred him. I had another fight with him in 2011, I believe, Sweden versus England. I lost another close decision. And after that, he went on to win Olympic gold and that. And then I sparred him in 2016, and I could feel the improvement. He had got better technically. He was still big and strong, but he had improved a lot technically. Since then, I relocated to New York. It's been really good for me. It was always hard to get good sparring in Sweden and in Denmark where I was living when I first turned pro. So I think that has been very good for my career. And I've been with my trainer Joey Gamache now since 2013, and we have a great connection, great relationship, and I feel like I'm keep improving. I haven't reached my peak yet, so I'm looking forward to these next few years.
Do you think this is the right moment to fight Joshua? Is it a good time?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, especially since he's coming up for 2 losses against Usyk, another southpaw. Usyk, very skillful fighter, of course. Joshua, still, like I said, I still think that he's one of the best in the division, but he might have lost a little bit of confidence along the way. And I think that he has a lot of pressure on his shoulders, and I think that showed in the Usyk fight and afterwards. We'll see. I mean, I hope he comes back good, and I want to fight him, of course.
Now, irrespective, when do you expect to be out next? If it is the Joshua fight, when would you expect that to be? If it's not the Joshua fight, when would you expect to fight next?
Well, that's a good question. I'm ready to fight pretty much right now. I'm in good shape. I've been here sparring Chisora, had good sparring in New York, so I don't need a lot of time to get ready. Joshua, if it's that fight, I mean, they're talking about February or March, I believe. So that'll probably be likely if it was that fight.
Just to round off, you're here in London. How do you think the boxing training and the boxing compares in London to New York?
It's good. I think it's very good. I've been enjoying staying here in Finchley and training at the Park Gym here with Don, the other guys. Tony Pill had me on the pads a little bit yesterday, and they've been very friendly to me. They've been taking good care of me, giving me some advice. And I think this gym is really good. It comes in a lot of big guys here, good heavyweights. That's always positive. You can tell that boxing is big here in England, and it is in New York also. So I think that it's good all around, both places. I think it's nice to be in places that like boxing and that has respect for the fighters, and I really like that.
Otto, all I can say is best of luck for the fights coming up. We hope you get that big fight against AJ, and I hope you have a safe trip back.
Thank you very much.